I remember moving to Raleigh, North Carolina, and I had zero family members here. I literally only had one friend here, and quite frankly, we both didn't know much about this place. I mean, we had very little information, but it wasn't enough information for us to be able to make those decisions that you're going to get help with today. I mean, thankfully, we are two individuals who, we're not shy to speak to people. We're go-getters, so we were out there really just speaking to people, getting our questions answered, and that enabled us to get more information and know exactly where to go, what to do, and what not to do, what to stay away from. Because honestly, all we had was a map, and you can't ever really tell, what a place is like, what a place feels like, what's the lifestyle like, what it looks like through a map. I mean, that's just not going to really happen. You can't get the reality of it. Thankfully, I've done all the legwork for you. So here's the opportunity to sit back, relax, and just learn about what place in Raleigh, North Carolina is perfect for you, your family, whoever is tagging along with you to Raleigh, North Carolina. What's up, everyone? Roney Polynice here. If this is your first time on this channel and you're trying to figure out where exactly in Raleigh, North Carolina should you live, well, hey, first off, you're in the right place. Second off, make sure you hit the subscribe, like, and the bell so you are notified every time we do a video and you don't miss a beat. I get these phone calls, text messages, emails all the time from people either seeking for more information or they've made that decision and say, hey, we're relocating to Raleigh. We just need Ronnie's help. And I absolutely love it because it gives me the opportunity to do exactly what we're doing here today. Share that information to help you make a decision on whether you should be in Raleigh or not. So if you're one of those individuals, please give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night. Heck, maybe even on the weekends. I got your back in this market. Raleigh today isn't really Raleigh. It's considered RTP. It's considered the Triangle. And frankly, it might get another name. I don't know. But all of these different names that come with it include Chapel Hill, Durham, Wake Forest, Garner, Clayton, just Apex. There's so many different cities that include in the name of Raleigh, but we're going to strip all of that out of there. We're not talking about these other cities that everybody wants to include. We're just going to focus on Raleigh. So don't get confused with, hey, does Raleigh include this big old box? No, it doesn't. It's really just the city in itself that everyone wants to include this big old box into. So again, we're only going to cover Raleigh in itself. We're going to cover the north, south, east, and west of it so you can identify which area is best fit for you. So we're going to start off with the west of Raleigh, which is really, in my opinion, NC State's grounds. It's where obviously NC State's campus is. It's where you're going to find a lot of college students. But this is not to say that that is all that exists over there. There's a ton more things to do. I mean, you have museums, you have Pullen Park, Dorothea Dix Parks, which is actually where they did 4th of July fireworks. So this is kind of just to show you, like, there's a ton of things. It's not just a college state or a college, a college area. In addition to it, you do have Cameron Village, which is now known as, I think is Village District. I don't know why they changed the name because everybody still knows it as Cameron Village, but it's a great place to go and kind of get drinks, go to shop, go hang out. It's a ton of different things you can do in just that area in itself. You could literally park your car and just go wander wherever you want to go. Just get ready to pull your wallet out and start spending because everything there is to spend. So if you're going there, I hope you have full intention to spend because that's exactly what's going to happen. Then of course you have PNC Arena, which is where the hockey team plays and NC State's basketball team plays. So there's an opportunity for there, but they don't only do those two things at the PNC Arena. You have different concerts and different events that go on there. For instance, I went to a Wild and Out event there, which was hilarious. They need to come back, honestly. So Nick Cannon, I need you for that one. But yeah, it was great. There's different events that go on at that arena in itself. And then that, last but not least, but you'll definitely see your condos, your townhomes, and your single-family homes. I mean, all throughout North Carolina, that's kind of what you're going to see. This area reminds me very much so of like North Hills, just because of how dense it is, but it's just not as occupied. It's not as many individuals, running through west of Raleigh than North Hills, in my opinion. Now let's talk about, drum roll please, Midtown, which is actually between downtown Raleigh and north of Raleigh. And in this area, you'll find your Crabtree Mall. So if you like going shopping, that's essentially where you're gonna go. But even if you want to stay closer to North Hills in itself, or Midtown, I should say, there is a ton of different places you can go to. But if you just want, obviously, the mall environment, the mall feel, Crabtree is where you're gonna go for that specifically. In North Hills in itself, you have a ton of different concerts, different events that go on there. If you're from, Northeast, if you remember those Wednesday night lives that Stanford used to have, that's essentially the kind of same environment that they have here with the outdoor concerts. You kind of can, get along, hear some music, go to the bar that's not too far from, the environment where they have it at. So yes, you can even get that feel. I will say North Hills reminds me personally of New York City. Kind of like Hudson Yards, where you just can kind of go and hang out and chill and just really have a ton of different things around you to do. And you don't really have to drive anywhere. You're just literally walking from one place to another. North Hills, you can almost as well look at it as like a city within a city, just because it's very self-sustained. I mean, you really don't have to do anything. Just keep in mind, please keep in mind, this is probably one of the most expensive areas within that Raleigh area that you may experience, just because it's been really developed. It's fairly new. And yeah, it's really beautiful to see. A lot of high rises that you'll see as well in the area. There's a lot to do. And I'm sure within time, there's going to be even more to do. It's definitely an area that I would say check out and see what you think of it and see if it's a good fit for you. So north of Raleigh, finally. We're not talking about Midtown anymore. We're talking about North Raleigh, which I personally don't spend too much time here, simply because I get enough out of downtown Raleigh. I get enough out of Midtown, and just going to that extra stretch of going to North Raleigh. I personally only find myself doing that if I want to go to the lake or I actually want to go hiking, which you will typically do at Umstead. But other than that, I don't really find myself going there because there's a ton of other things you can do that is nearby in different areas. So unless if I just want a different experience, that's where I'm going to North Raleigh, which is to check out those areas. Or maybe I'm just going because a friend's already over there and, whatever the case may be. But other than that, there's a ton of different, like I said, fishing, biking that you can do. This is an area where you could definitely say that it's walkable. There's a lot more to do. So if you're not the type of person where you like to go into the gym and have their gym memberships, you can take advantage of the walkability that this North Raleigh area does provide for you. And you can just walk and just enjoy nature. I mean, who doesn't like to do that? And I will add, if you're a person that likes master plan communities, you don't like to leave your community at all, you actually like when things are fairly closer to you, within maybe even walking distance, Bedford is a place you might want to check out. It may pique up interest to you, given that they do have everything right then and there for you. You really, if you want to drive, you can drive, but you really don't have to, because everything is, like I said, it's right there for you, right at your disposal. Now we'll talk about east of Raleigh, Trouble in Paradise. So I will say this is an area that has been developing for the most part, and it's been on the later side, the lagging side of the development. And I say that to kind of sum it all up to, it's just been the place that most people are developing last. Every other area has been touched upon, has been, got that far in advanced experience of new development. But this is an area that's now kind of getting that experience of that. So you're gonna have to deal with that. Other than that, you do have your Triangle Town Center, which is the smaller version of the mall. So it is very selective in terms of the stores. So please look into that before coming back to me and say, hey, my store wasn't in that mall. Because if it's not in the Triangle Town Center, you can always go to Crabtree, which then you're just going to obviously have to travel to. Then you also have Capitol Boulevard, which is one long street, I mean long, of just shops to the left and to the right of you. Businesses to the left and right of you, amusement parks left and right of you, restaurants, chain restaurants to the left and right of you. I mean, you're going to have it all. So it is a very, very busy road. Be careful when you're driving on that because everyone is doing their own thing. So that's just be cautious of that. In addition to this is an area where I have seen or have experienced a lot of the first-time home buyers have been kind of migrating to this area simply because it's on the less expensive side of housing in Raleigh in itself. Now we'll finally get to the good part, downtown Raleigh. At least good part from my opinion, because I actually like this type of environment. where you can literally just park your car at your place of residence and you don't have to move it unless if you have to travel outside of downtown Raleigh, because everything is literally right there for you. If you're a person like myself that enjoys walking and would take advantage of the 2 feet that God gave me, then yeah, you're gonna find me walking rather than driving. So this is an area where, of course, it's well sustained. You're not gonna have, I would say, too much of your grocery stores nearby. It's gonna be more of like, just your restaurants, your businesses, your bars, things that you can go out to go enjoy. But if you're a person that enjoys home cooking, you're definitely gonna have to then at that point in time take your car out of downtown Raleigh to go shop and do the grocery shopping that is necessary. So with that being said, of course you do have a lot of walkability. You have a lot of things like the transfer food center that you have. You have Morgan Street, which is 2 food halls that you can go to just to again go out and go eat. That's why I say this area is really great for that. But if you're a person that typically stays inside, doesn't really care to go out and go enjoy the parks, the things that you can do in this video, the things that you can just do in this area it's a lot. Go check out my other video if you haven't already, of which I actually did a vlog of downtown Raleigh, and you can kind of see it for yourself, essentially what this area even provides. But you can also imagine this area as any other downtown area, right? No parking. I mean, there is parking, but it's very limited. It's very little. That's why I say it's best to just park your car at your home, and just walk, because that's going to be the best of your buck. You don't have to worry about getting a ticket or even paying for parking. So yes, you're going to have to have that kind of you're going to have to deal with that essentially. In terms of housing, this is an area where I have seen housing is quite expensive. So again, you're going to have to dive deep into those pockets to be in this area, just because again, everything is right there for you. It's fun to be there. Don't get me wrong. Last but not least, and I probably won't spend much time on this one because south of Raleigh doesn't really have much there. Not really anything going on there. I will say it's a place where you're just gonna travel in and out of simply because there's nothing to do. I would say there's probably a few things you can do, but it's nothing to this point where you're gonna have to stop your car and look or actually try to get that observant of the feel of it itself. I will say it's been in the works. There is a sports complex, a sports center. There's something of sports that they're trying to develop here in the area. So that is something that may then bring a little bit more attractions, a little bit more housing, a little bit more things to do in that area. It's supposed to be extremely large. So that's something to stay on the lookout for. But other than that, south of Raleigh doesn't really have a ton of things to do, a ton of things to offer. So it might not be an area you may consider. But if you do decide to consider it, I can see this area being on the less expensive side of, everything else. However, I will say it's extremely close to downtown. So this could be a major pro that you're going to have at your advantage if you decide to move to the south of Raleigh. That's exactly why you reach out to me, because you don't want to end up like me, right? Making the commitment to move and then seeking for all the answers. It's very much so working backwards. Thankfully, I don't regret making this decision and making the move at all. So please use my pain, use my pleasures as a way to help you and identify if this is an area that you want to live in. However, the only way for me to help you is if you give me a call, shoot me a text or email, day or night, heck, maybe on the weekends. Just don't forget, I got your back in this market. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.